Good morning. Please be seated. It's my privilege to welcome the members of the class of 2022, their families and friends, the faculty, members of the Board of Trustees, alumni, and other guests to the commencement exercises of Newark Academy's 248th year. While it's a little disappointing not to be outdoors, it's still especially meaningful to come together in person and celebrate the class of 2022. The last 2 years have been hard and have required sacrifice and compromise, especially with respect to large gatherings like this. It's wonderful to see you all here to join in this important ceremony for this great class. During Newark Academy's long history, calamitous events have affected past graduations. From the Revolution and the Civil War to the 1918 pandemic and the Great Depression. Resilience must be part of our institutional DNA because a version of this ceremony has taken place every year since the founding of the nation on 5 different campuses, all but one of which was in Newark. This school has educated the minds and helped form the lives of thousands of young people, including, of course, those we are about to recognize. Just a few announcements before we begin. At the conclusion of the ceremony, there will be a reception outdoors by the concession stand under 2 tents. This ceremony is being live streamed for anyone unable to attend. There is a professional photographer who will be taking photographs of each graduate, but those wishing to take their own pictures can do so from the side. I also want to thank all those who've been involved in setting this up, Mr. Erlinson, our crew, and all the folks who've come in to help with the sound. Thank you. So we come together today to celebrate the accomplishments of this extraordinary group of young men and women seated in front of me. Class of 22, will you please stand? On behalf of the faculty, I commend you for your work in the classroom, for your active engagement in school life, and for your generous leadership this year as seniors. We are proud of you for all of your academic achievement, service, artistic expression, and athletic contributions, and for your leadership during the pandemic. We are confident that you are prepared to succeed in the colleges and universities that you have selected. Your growth and accomplishments while at the Academy are impressive, but I ask you now to acknowledge that many others have helped you along the way. Please take this moment to salute those without whom your productive time at Newark Academy would not have been possible. Class of 2022, please turn to acknowledge your gratitude to your families who have sacrificed for your education and have nurtured you throughout your life to this great day. And class of 22, now please turn to acknowledge your gratitude to the faculty on either side who have so generously shared their knowledge and wisdom with you. Please be seated. I'll be back in a few minutes, but now a few other introductions. Mr. Samuel Kroll, Chairman of the Board of Trustees.
Good morning. I bring you greetings and, more importantly, congratulations from the Board of Trustees. It seems like it was not so long ago that I sat where you sit today. Well, it's been over 50 years, and if I reflect on my 17-year-old self, I suspect that I was not riveted by the words of the board chair at that time, so I will be mercifully brief. If you're anything like I was years ago, you're anxious to move on. But I would encourage you to savor this moment. Your enthusiasm, good nature, curiosity, ambition, and hope for the future brought you to this day, and those characteristics will sustain you as you move forward. And one more thing, don't forget us. The further from the Academy you get, the more you will sense its significance in your lives. Even though over 50 years stands between us, we shared a common experience, you and I. Newark Academy was a rare gift to me long ago, and it's up to you to ensure that those who sit in these chairs 50 years from now will share that gift. I'll be watching. I'd now like to introduce Rochelle Edwards, the Director of Equity and Inclusion.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my honor to welcome you to the celebration of the class of 2022. To the trustees, administrators, faculty, staff, maintenance crew, Sage dining staff, and security officers, thank you for your continual efforts and commitment to cultivating a diverse school community where we thrive to make everyone feel welcomed, respected, valued, and celebrated. To the parents, siblings, family members, and friends, thank you for entrusting us with providing your students with an inclusive environment that thrives on intellectual, social, and emotional interactions across differences as we prepare them to learn and grow as citizens of the world. To the class of 2022, when someone asks me why I love working at Newark Academy, I always tell them our students are the best part of our community. I started my journey here at NA at the same time as many of you 4 years ago in the fall of 2018. In those 4 years, I've had the privilege and pleasure to discuss what it means to be an engaged citizen in AP US History class, plan Spirit Week and man the grill at football games with school council, fiercely cross-examine you at mock trial practice, laugh every Monday afternoon with the Black Student Union, and dance until my back and feet hurt at homecoming and proms. But most importantly, in these 4 years, it has been you, the class of 2022, that has taught all of us what it means to build community. I've watched you promote inclusivity, particularly around thought and perspective, by engaging in dialogue despite your differences, acting as upstanders in the NA community, and acting as allies to communities in which you do not belong. You have challenged us to think about the values we share as a community and encouraged us to do something that effectuates change. You have chosen kindness when you graciously served as peer leaders, classroom interns, and mentors to middle school students. Your dedication shows that you know that this community is not just about you, but about the classes of students who will follow you. You have taken responsibility for your academic pursuits and your conduct in and outside of the classroom. You've shown care for this community through your service in Honor Council, the Equity and Inclusion Team, Service Council, Minuteman Society, and a host of other committees, clubs, and activities. You have fostered trust by building meaningful relationships with your peers, teachers, and coaches. As a class, you have demonstrated a level of connectedness to each other, this community, and the global world around you. You have practiced a growth mindset by never giving up, even when faced with all of the challenges and traumatic events of the past few years. There's no mask or bad Zoom connection that has dampened your resilience. You have given so much of yourselves to this community far beyond the classroom. Today, in a sense, you will leave this community, but soon you will join a new one. My hope for you is that you find that same sense of belonging in your new community. And as you enter that community, wherever that may be, take the time to reflect on the person you are today and the person you hope to be in our ever-changing world. To borrow from our global speaker last fall, Gabby Rivera, develop a joy practice that allows you to experience joy every day and share it with the members of your new community. Be radical by continuing to break barriers and redefine them. Give your new community all of the passion for learning, intellectual curiosity, thoughtfulness, inclusive leadership, willingness to take risks, and tenacity that you have given to Newark Academy. Congratulations.
Stella Gilbert will now deliver the T.C. Abbey oration.
The class of 2022 has always known how to lead. After all, we're great at making a name for ourselves. Who else can say they're the first grade to be kicked out of the middle school common room as young, naive whiteout throwers? We've grown up a little since then, and I'd like to say our style of leadership has matured along with us. I'm proud to look at you all now and see club leaders, business owners, and captains graduating today. But I can't help but reflect on a less traditional kind of leadership that's percolated through our class this year. Today, I will introduce you to a new, much more infectious kind of leader that I've witnessed spread among our class, the first follower. Practically, a first follower has the power to turn a seemingly absurd person or idea into a movement by being the first to align themselves with an issue. They're the person who sees a leader do something and follows along, shifting it from a solo effort to a defined group. First followers are how someone standing up and sitting down turns into a stadium of fans doing the wave. The wave is nothing without the followers, just as a Mamma Mia cast dance-along is nothing without its dedicated section of seniors copying their moves. This year, our class has nailed the first follower form of leadership. I remember walking into a half-empty classroom a couple months ago and seeing Alon and Luke frantically whispering, practically giddy to ask me if I'd heard of the game Assassin, or, as a few key adults have since told me to refer to it, senior washout. After giving them a cautious yes, they told me to text every single senior I was friends with to see if they'd want to engage in a grade-wide competition. In case you have the privilege of not having this game invade every aspect of your life, senior washout is a game where teams try to spray other teams with water when they least expect it, including at their own homes at 6 in the morning, ideally eliminating other groups until they're the last one standing. I know it sounds like chaos, but I promise it was unbelievably fun. But this joy wouldn't have been possible without the first following nature of our class. Everyone had to hear that elevator pitch, weigh the costs and benefits to themselves, and decide that a little bit of straying from the norm, a little bit of emotional and sometimes physical discomfort was worthwhile for a potential new tradition. I still have a Snapchat message ingrained in my head from that era. It said, "Add everyone you can to this chat." Because not only do good first followers support with enthusiasm, but they also immediately recruit new followers. Exclusion doesn't make sense in the eyes of a good first follower. Isn't that a utopia? Well, not always. To indulge the lifers for a moment and maybe allow the rest of you to see just how far we've come, I'd like to recount a moment when first following went a bit awry for us. It was 7th grade capstone, and we were enjoying some pizza under the fluorescent glow of the Shore Country Day School cafeteria lights, when I hear what can only be described as hooting and hollering coming from a pack of boys surrounding Mr. Caldwell, who seems like he's starting to cough a lot. Then I make eye contact with Yehoon, who has the most overjoyed look on his face. And looking down into his hands, I can see why. He's holding what's labeled the world's hottest salsa that he bought in Boston earlier that day, and somehow he'd just gotten Mr. Caldwell to give it a try. So soon, seeing the pain that the salsa was inflicting on their teacher, kids were clamoring to be that next person to try it, reaching in, tasting some, regretting it immediately. That first follower instinct starts young, I guess. Now everyone's coughing and tearing up, looking around for something to make that heat feel a little bit better. But in the corner of the cafeteria, where there had always been a container full of cartons of cold milk, there was somehow nothing. It was completely empty. It almost felt personal at that point. So there we were, a whole bunch of people who first followed their way into a night of misery altogether. So, how did our class go from that traumatizing hot salsa experience to becoming the upstanding citizens and scholars we are today? Well, only a year into high school, we lost performances, games, events, hallway chatter. COVID hit our sophomore and junior selves, and it was like we got advance notice of what it would be like after high school when we left each other for good. All interaction had to be solicited. Without the spontaneity of a chance encounter, we could never drop in to see the musical or a tournament, and our acquaintances we liked to see from time to time were quickly sorted into the people we'd text and those we wouldn't hear from for months. It was a taste of post-NA life before we were ready to be done with NA and each other. So being thrown back into a senior year of near normalcy brought giddiness. Suddenly it became a privilege to set aside hesitation and be that second person standing up in the stadium doing the wave, or the fan sitting in the front row, or the senior washout player. We are less afraid of being first followers because we know what it feels like to lose the capacity to follow anyone at all. Our high school experience has been punctuated by profound loss. But with the fortune and the privilege we were somehow granted, we've also learned what it looks like to pursue profound joy along with it. So, what does the class of 2022's aptitude for first follower behavior mean for us? Hold that question in your mind for me for a moment. What does our first follower instinct mean for this class? Store it away while I give you this quick backstory and a tiny philosophy lesson, but I promise it's not TOK. It was freshman fall, after school, in Philosophy Psychology Club, and we were talking about existentialist hammers. That afternoon was the first time I learned all about essence and existence. So, why hammers? For something like a hammer, its essence, or the purpose that it gets meaning from, is to put nails in stuff. This meaning comes before any one specific hammer is made. Its essence precedes its existence. Jean-Paul Sartre claimed that we humans stumble into life so humanly because our existence precedes our essence. We are born, we exist, before we get a purpose or essence. I'd posit that then our life is a quest for some kind of essence, assuming you're one of the joyful and hopeful and romantic few that can tamp down cynicism enough to live for a moment. So, time to recall that big question, what does our first follower instinct say about the future of this graduating class? It says that we're ready to pursue the cool essences. Not the essences defined by numbers in a checking account or the ones that'll feel hollow after a decade or two. The cool essences, reserved for people who can, with a bit of instinct, follow the right controlled chaos to create genuinely powerful movements. The authentic essences, that enable us to be people who create events that change lives, organizations that contribute good, and moments people cherish. We stumbling humans are simultaneously drawn to and fear the boldest ideas. But if we are to pursue cool essences, without ego, without pride, then we can wield our first follower nature when it is absolutely essential. Perhaps some of us will be standalone founders. But with this first follower instinct, we will all be leaders, builders, mentors, citizens, friends. We will be good, nourished people. We will be joyful. And because we will elect to be first followers of only what is worthy of being essentially us, we will grow toward enlightenment. Class of 2022, it's been an honor to follow along with you these past 7 years. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Pio, and this is an original poem titled, "We is Greater Than Me." I've never been a big fan of goodbyes. I always seem to cry, holding back the tears, and today will be no different as I stand before you looking in your eyes. I have no more wisdom than you sitting before me, but perhaps it'd be useful to tell you a story. I once knew a class that got itself kicked out of a common room. Man, were they strict. I know of a class with great spirit and heart, made up of 101 strokes on this canvas of art. This class is filled with lovers of learning, athletes, artists, keeping the midnight oil burning, passionate leaders, and wonderful friends, bringing the energy through the very end. We entered sophomore year with big hopes and dreams, but found ourselves learning in tiny squares on tiny screens, and I'm sure that isn't how you imagined high school to be, yet we've come out the other side, stronger and with a degree. And thus, it culminates in graduation, a day filled with tears and elation, and suddenly, we're missing everyone, even those who are still here. But we will grow to realize our paths were never separate, but intertwined in a seemingly endless wood. We've come to the clearing and see the sun, warmth on our skin, time as it runs out, and out it may go, but let us linger in the community we've grown. When we think of one another, let us think of what's to come, that our fates be connected, that we'll always feel the sun. And I know we are ready to enter the world. After all, Dr. D prepared us as so. We is greater than me, and I hope you never forget that while there are times you may feel alone, this community will always be your home. Thank you.
Good morning, Newark Academy, and to the class of 2022. You all clean up so wonderfully. My name is Milanis Rivas, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to the Academy's 248th Commencement, celebrating new beginnings. It is a tremendous privilege and indeed an honor to have the opportunity to be able to introduce Dr. Dibianca. Dr. Dibianca spent the early years of his childhood in Pennsylvania. When he reached the pivotal age of 18, he decided to attend Colgate University, majoring in biology and minoring in world religions. He gained experience in these respective fields by working at a biological field station located near Glacier Park, Montana, and studying Theravada Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Along with a successful career in academics, Dr. Dibianca developed his leadership skills by becoming senior class president. With his first degree in hand, Dr. Dibianca accepted a teaching and coaching position at a small independent school located in Pennsylvania. During his time there, he took a year off to earn his master's in the great books. 7 years later, Dr. Dibianca moved to Chicago, where he began a PhD program and upgraded to the remarkable credentials that now accompany his name. Let's fast forward to 1998. Brandy's song, "The Boy Is Mine," was the longest running hit single. My parents, who will be celebrating 24 years of marriage tomorrow, just tied the knot. And the universe aligned to bring Dr. Dibianca to Newark Academy. Our principal has devoted his life to championing intellectual engagement, experiential learning, equity, a student-centered approach, and overall healthier balance in adolescent lives. To the graduates sitting before me today, you are all a testament to that focus. Our principal has also met us in the classrooms, where Dr. D was responsible for teaching a variety of courses, including IB philosophy, TOK, discrete mathematics, geometry, and a summer session called Happiness. Yes, happiness. He coaches boys and girls tennis at all levels and deserves due credit for his role in the national recognition and rankings those teams have earned. When not working with students and staff of Newark Academy, Dr. Dibianca can likely be found with his wife, Maria, to whom he refers to as angelic. While I wasn't fortunate enough to be taught by Dr. Dibianca, I do remember quite fondly our first interaction. It was freshman year, and I was leaving Ancient World with a handful and mouthful of one of Mrs. Shotland's homemade desserts. She had used food quite often in correlation with her lessons, and weren't we all grateful for that? However, unaware that no eating in the halls was a rule, and not to mention one of Dr. D's favorites, I was met by a man notorious for his purposeful stride, his computer and yellow legal pad in hand. Dr. D proceeded to shout, "Hey kid, no eating in the halls." It was almost as though he could tell I was embarrassed, because he continued softly, "That looks good. Just take it to the dining hall." I didn't know it then, but Dr. D would serve as my net throughout the unhinged, uncertain, and intimidating times in high school. The educational system is populated by students like me, like all of us, with potential to succeed. And while success stories are wonderful, I would like to draw light upon the students who slip through the cracks, who fail to reach a certain level of success due to a lack of mentorship, a lack of support and reassurance that growth is customized to each of us. To students who get passed along with the notion that they'll be someone else's problem, instead of being offered solutions. Dr. D has been key in offering me solutions, even when I posed him with questions I thought unanswerable, like, how do I know this is the right path? Or, how do I know that I'm making the right decision for my academic career? Dr. D was never stifled, but answered in a reassuring tone, "Milanis, your decision is the right decision. And don't think for a second you're supposed to be suited for a college. No, college is supposed to be suited for you. So let's focus on finding a Milani school." I lay all of this out to say thanks to Dr. D for his guidance and support. I will attend Muhlenberg College in the fall, majoring in education. It is my pleasure to share Dr. D's accomplishments, not with the intent of being boastful, although his resume undoubtedly deserves bragging rights, but simply because my high school career serves as a testament to his encouragement, support, and unwavering belief in students. Dr. Dibianca, from me personally, but also on behalf of the class of 2022, thank you for being a model of honest leadership, for valuing the characteristics of a healthy school and community, for advocating on behalf of trial and error, and for serving as a testament to hard work and perseverance. We are proud to be your last official graduating class as upper school principal. Friends, family, it is my honor and privilege to introduce our 2022 commencement speaker, Dr. Richard Dibianca.
Thank you, Melanis. That was beautiful. Now, how the heck am I supposed to address all these people while I'm weeping? Just enjoying the music. Members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Austin, colleagues, families, and members of the class of 22, thank you for having me here today. Honestly, I was going to be here anyway, so it worked out well. Seniors, you are really close to graduating from my college prep school like really close, 50 minutes or so. How long are lessons here, 55? No, maybe 18 or 19 minutes. Our alumni report that we've done that quite well for them, prepared them for college, and I'm quite confident that Newark Academy has prepared you for the academic experience at college. I'm also confident that we've prepared you for the extracurricular and maybe even the interpersonal dimensions of college. So what I thought I'd do today, in this, the final time you'll all be assembled together, is offer a final lesson of college prep school. Let's call it the quest for the best education in college. A college campus is basically an all-inclusive resort. It's a bubble. It's a very nice bubble, an expensive bubble. And as long as you show your proof of membership, usually a bracelet or a student ID, you can go anywhere in the bubble and take part in anything. That's basically what being admitted means. Admitted to anything. Getting the membership card or bracelet. Ever get admitted to a hospital? Bracelet. So what will you do at your all-inclusive resort bubble? I suggest exploring as much of it as you can. There may be a limit on how much food you can get at like each meal, but there's probably not a limit on which dining halls or food courts you can go to. There'll be activities. Actually, maybe this is more like a cruise ship, also bracelets, all-inclusive resort bubble. But check them all out. Check all the activities out. Why not? Selah and Dhruv, I have an activity for you to check out. On 59th and Woodlawn, across from the Midway, go to Doc Films. They show classic movies there almost every night, and you're not going to hear about this at orientation. Others, what will you do? What will you try out? Will you do a club sport, a performing arts group? Who plans to do an activity there that you didn't do here? So seniors, I want to know what one activity you're looking forward to trying on campus. Turn and talk. Right now, I'll wait. One activity. I told you, one last lesson. One activity. All right, thank you. Now, how about the classes offered at these resort bubbles? Do you already know what you'll major in? Even if you do know, your major won't use up all your credits, so what else are you going to take? I suggest taking something bizarre. Be a Vinocorian intellectual adventurer. The most influential courses I took were super random. When I was a junior, my cousin told me that a popular professor at his school was doing an exchange at my school for the year. So I took an educational psychology course with him. He was charismatic and funny, and by the second class, he knew all of our names. I took another class with him in the spring, the only two education courses I ever took. I liked my biology and religion professors, but it was that random guy who ended up having the greatest impact on my life. So will you intellectually adventure when it comes to classes? Zoe, in Reed's anthropology department, you can take courses called African Technoscience, Time and Space, and wait for it, Dragon Glass. You've got to try one and let me know. Chris, I was blown away by the range of offerings at SMU. You could take nanotechnology, and then, right after that, the psychology of evil. Oh my God, have fun. Seniors, what random course do you want to take? Turn and talk. Other person this time. Go. Random course. Now, thank you. I wasn't a particularly motivated student in college. I mean, I did assume that college was for career training. It's not. College is not career training, at least for most people. I doubt that many adults in the room would say that their job training happened as undergraduates. Training and education are both vehicles for learning, but they're polar opposites. Training puts things into you. Education draws things out of you. Training is sometimes good and useful, like learning to drive, or like when I taught Nick to juggle in 4 minutes. But education is different. If you're lucky, you'll go to college to be educated, not just trained. You go to college to grow, to challenge your ideas, to have experiences. Want to be a doctor? Fine. But don't just take science courses. In fact, you don't even need to major in science. Seriously, this is the only country where that's true. Want to go into business? Fine. But for the love of God, don't be a business major. That was actually the title of the first draft of the speech. Business is what Robert Pirsig calls a methodological field, not a substantive field. Major in people or ideas or places or things, not methods. Get educated first, then get an MBA or work in business. But for the love of God, don't be a business major. Of course, that's a little tongue-in-cheek, but I really do want you to think about the extraordinary range of things you can do and courses you can take in your all-inclusive resort bubble. I hope you spend the first year discovering all of its opportunities, become a bubble master, and then evolve. If you only stay in your bubble, then you can't genuinely tell people later in life that you spent time in Ithaca, New York, or Durham, North Carolina. That's like staying at the Atlantis and saying you spent time in the Bahamas. Nope. That resort bubble could have been anywhere. Without interacting with the place or the people outside of the bubble, do you ever really go anywhere, or do you just go bubble to bubble? So even though some of us have been to the Bahamas, I think only Gabe and Cole have really spent time there. So after you become a bubble master, the second stage in the quest for getting the best education in college is called adventure tourism. Now don't worry, there's only 3 stages of this quest. Philosophers, this is the part of the speech where undergraduates facing the wall in Plato's cave are forced to turn their heads from the shadows and look at the real fire and figures that made them. The adventure tourism stage forces you to engage with the place where you live, the location of your college. If you're willing to grow while you're in college, if you're interested in getting the best education, adventure tourism is the next stage. Arian and Mason, what do you guys know about Cleveland? By next spring, get yourselves to a Guardian game at Progressive Field. It's a great ballpark. It's only 15 minutes from campus, 30 minutes on the Red Line. And get some pastries at Corbo's, probably the best bakery in Little Italy. Yes, Cleveland has a Little Italy. And that's only a 15-minute walk from Case. And there are fishing parks and areas all along the lakefront. Whatever you do, don't go to college and be unaffected by its location. Location is what makes a college better than a resort. Emily Sabando, how much do you know about Poughkeepsie? Mr. Ashburn went to Marist, but that was probably decades ago. Here are some more recent ideas for things to do there. The CIA is only 1.5 miles away from your campus. Not that CIA, and not the Mahoney one. The Culinary Institute of America. You could have amazing brunches there every weekend. I know your family would come up for that. Have you been to the walkway over the Hudson? Literally goes through your new town. Now, if you really want to have fun, go up the hill, about 10-minute ride, go to the Vassar campus and make fun of all the nerds there. When it's warm out, go to the waterfront. They have a market right there. And when it's cold, explore the ice caves. Yes, I said ice caves. Don't go to college and be unaffected by its location. Location is what makes a college better than a resort. So how do you know when you successfully advanced to the adventure tourist stage? When you can fill up an entire parent visit weekend with cool activities and good food, just with ideas coming off the top of your head. That's how you know you've reached the adventure tourism stage. Now, in graduation speeches, things come in threes. So we can't stop at adventure tours. Plus, you're still in Plato's cave, so we got to get you out. When I was in college, I was the bubble master. Never left the resort, played 35 intramural sports each year, including Squid Game, and won it. But I never matured beyond that stage in college. It was 4 years later when I got my master's degree in Annapolis that I finally ascended to adventure tourist. Okay, it took me a little while. But I was a good tour guide. I could show anyone around the Naval Academy, which for the record is not where I got my master's. Too much obedience and tight collars. I could point out their boat basin where every watercraft possible exists, and John Paul Jones's crypt under the chapel. I could take you on a water taxi ride from City Dock over to the marinas if I had permission. I could even take you to the best crab shack on the Chesapeake, hidden deep in the Maryland woods. Now, fun fact, I thought I was the only one in New Jersey who knew about that secret crab shack until Mr. Austin's assistant, Mrs. Brennan, told me that she and her husband drive down there for dinner sometimes. Brennan! Okay, so if your aim is achieving the best education in college, you can't stop at adventure tourism. Philosopher Ron Swanson once opined, tourism may work well with places, but not in people's lives. So the final stage in your quest to get the best education in college is interpersonal immersion. You're not escaping from the immersion requirement after all. It's great to know the best cafe in your new college town, but it's more meaningful that the owner's name is Piper, that she graduated from your college 9 years ago, that she didn't like her marketing job in the city, so she came back and started Cafe Mocha a little over 3 years ago, and that she is much happier now, and that cute brown dog who lays on the floor near the counters is hers. He was named Mocha first. Piper will be there until you graduate, and when you return for visits, though at some point Macchiato will have taken Mocha's place on the floor. That's a meaningful relationship. Now, I didn't ascend to the level of interpersonal immersion until several more years had passed, and I was in my second graduate program. Okay, we get it, late bloomer. I finally got to know people outside of my bubble in the south side of Chicago. I taught 8th grade science at the Harvard School on 47th Street. I coached basketball at St. Philip's on the South Shore. I taught graduate courses in hands-on math to public elementary school teachers, and then went into their classrooms to help them implement the lessons. Here's my test for knowing that I had ascended to interpersonal immersion stage. I never really felt like an upstate New Yorker or an Annapolitan, if that's what you call someone from Annapolis, but I did feel like a Chicagoan. Part of me still does. Interpersonal immersion is important in the quest for the best education at college because it can add social value. Seniors, where might you find meaningful interpersonal immersion outside of your bubble? Zach, you may want to check out the Children's Theater of Madison. So, you know how Washington Street connects the campus to the Capitol? Go halfway up, 1 block on the left, that's where you'll find it. They do internships. Oh my God, how much would they love you? You're used to being, the younger brother in your family. Now you're going to be everybody's big brother. They would love you there. Now, I'd tell you to bring Griffin with you, but I have a different suggestion for Griffin. Griff, every spring, the West Madison Little League needs coaches and umpires, other side of campus. Now, you're not going to get rich. You only get $20, $30 a game, but you'd be awesome at leading and administering justice to the young kids. Give Tom Hennigan a call. If you don't have his number, I have it. Now, don't worry about there being fewer opportunities for interpersonal immersion near a small rural campus. Those locations may actually allow you to have the most meaningful impact and add the most social value. Cassidy, as we speak, there is a vacancy on the Lewisburg Shade Tree Commission. No one else knew that. Look it up. How cool would it be for a first-year Bucknell student to have a seat at the table when discussing the town's environmental plans? You could also go over and volunteer at the Mariah Garden, right on the banks of the Susquehanna River. Beautiful. You might even consider getting a job teaching on the floating classroom over at Williamsport. And Meredith Kane, while she's doing that, have you heard about the singing opportunities in the area? I know you all know about the choirs and a cappella groups on campus. You know they have a voice lab? Well, you might not know that the Buffalo Valley Singers love having college kids. And the Outdoor Festival, live from Lewisburg, is looking for performers every weekend. You'd be awesome. Get a small group together, or perform solo, or here's my real idea, serve as the campus liaison to the Buffalo Valley Singers. Look, college will be fun and engaging. It's an all-inclusive resort bubble, but getting the best education at college will require you to get out of it. That is stepping away from me. Getting to know the area you're college in will broaden your horizons, but interpersonal immersion provides the double benefit of educating you and adding social value. That's stepping towards the we. Some of what you encounter in college will seem very consequential. Some will be ethically neutral. But adding social value is intrinsically good. You may as well start practicing it in the next 4 years, regardless of your major. So 6 years from now, or 20 years from now, if you find that what you are doing is not meaningful to you and does not add social value, then stop doing it. Regardless of how much money you're making and regardless of how much capital you are producing. Not only does our society need more social value, but learning to add to it is not only a step towards the light, it's the stuff of a life well lived. Live yours well. Please stay in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. D, for your words of wisdom, your careful research, your personalization. And thank you for your 24 years leading the upper school. To all those assembled here, I proudly present the class of 2022. It has been my privilege, yeah, sure. It has been my privilege to witness your progress through your time at Newark Academy. Whether you're completing 3 years or the full 7-year term of lifers, you've earned the affection and respect of the faculty. Please let me briefly highlight some of your remarkable accomplishments. You've worked hard and succeeded in becoming outstanding scholars. 53 of you pursued the International Baccalaureate Diploma and explored a topic with extended research in the extended research paper. Within your class are 31 National Merit Scholars, multiple Presidential Scholar winners, a Quest Bridge Scholar, and a full ROTC winner. 20 of you were elected to the Cum Laude Society, demonstrating academic excellence, scholarship, and a generous commitment to advancing the pursuit of knowledge. Several of you participated in semester-long immersion programs, fully embracing the opportunity to do experiential learning. Similarly, the engagement and focus of this class in their senior projects was truly exceptional. Even though most of your high school time happened during the pandemic, you pivoted and adapted and had a remarkable run both in the classroom and outside the classroom. During your senior year, you led our mock trial group to a decisive win in the Essex County competition, our jazz band Chameleon to a spot in the coveted Essentially Ellington Festival at Lincoln Center. As a class, you logged nearly 9,000 hours of service, including as EMTs, mentors to special needs students, ESL teachers, Liberty Science volunteers, robotics instructors, and online chess instructors. You count among you a clothing designers, an Eagle Scout, a graphic novelist, a Regeneron Top 300 scholar, a participant in the VEX Robotics World Championship, and a gold medalist from the USA Computing Olympiad. Many of you conducted original research at top universities in biology, chemistry, and neuroscience, as well as engineering. This class has many talented musicians, including some who have played on national stages, such as Tanglewood and Juilliard. During the pandemic, the class of 2022 made hundreds of cloth masks for essential workers across the country. This extremely athletic class led Newark Academy to an extraordinary 8 state championships and 2 Tournament of Championship wins in golf and tennis. This is more state championships in 1 year than at any time in the school's history. 5 members of the class of 2022 have signed national letters of intent to join NCAA Division I athletic teams. 6 other seniors will join NCAA Division III teams. Beyond the many accomplishments of this class is its unique spirit, about which we've heard some already. They are incredibly kind and generous. The class of 2022 has been vocal in responding to many different national and global issues, from COVID to Black Lives Matter to anti-Semitism. Closer to home, your leadership in the daily life of the school has been appreciated by underclassmen and faculty who both admire and respect you. I can't overstate the importance of this in helping the school through the pandemic. You guys have been phenomenal. And importantly, you've been great supporters of each other. By cheering classmates and underclassmen on, you have built school spirit and in some cases rebuilt what we had lost during the pandemic. So thank you. Looking ahead, class of 2022, the colleges and universities you've chosen are selective, prestigious, and reflective of your particular talents and interests. They include many large universities as well as smaller liberal arts colleges from Maine to Wisconsin to Florida to California, the United Kingdom. 17 of you will attend liberal arts colleges. Others are enrolling in engineering programs, and 5 in the arts. 1 senior has committed to serving his country after college by joining the ROTC. Congratulations to all of you and best of luck in college. We are grateful for all you've contributed, and as bittersweet as it feels to see you go, you are ready. The faculty and I wish you rewarding lives as thoughtful and compassionate citizens. We hope that we have instilled in you the will to strive for high standards, the spirit to share generously with others, and the moral compass to act with honesty and integrity. I will close with a charge that has been said at Newark Academy graduations since the 19th century, with echoes of that century's commitment to educating for character. I now charge you, honored youths, to bear yourself with uprightness and integrity to the glory of God, to the honor of the state, and to the good name of this academy. Mr. Coe, Ms. Galvin, and Ms. Osterhagen will now award the diplomas.
Gabriel Aissa Aboud. Gabe, from the moment I met you, I was struck by your exuberance, integrity, and humor. Teaching you and learning from you these past 4 years has been a treasure, and I can't wait to witness your impact on the world. You no doubt bring the magic with you on your next adventure. All my love, Ms. Shapiro Cooper. Alana Akiwumi. Meeting the challenges of these trying times with grace and intelligence, Alana's appreciation for arts and literature elevates everyone's understanding. Mr. Rollenhagen. Lucy Chinelo Aleto. Lucy, through your years at NA, you truly carried the NA passion of learning. It has been a joy and pleasure to see you grow and become this shining light that is ready to illuminate the world. I wish you the best of luck for the next chapter of your life, and thank you for being a role model and a great leader. Dr. Fall. Lucas Harry Aland. Lucas, Your passionate, innovative spirit brought excitement and zest to the ceramics studio. Your philosophical discussions while throwing pots made for a delightful atmosphere in which to work and create. Your presence will be sorely missed. Best of luck, Mrs. Brody. Max Alter. Your leadership on the soccer field and in the classroom will be greatly missed. Whether stopping a breakaway or facing down a terrifying physics test, your nerves of steel have impressed us all. Good luck to you as you stare down the next challenges in your life, Mr. Ryan. Lauren Julian Ashfield. You know where it says no user serviceable parts inside? That doesn't apply to Lauren, and I'm sure he's going to be the go-to guy for fixing pretty much anything in his dorm next year, Mr. Kessler. Trisha Bala. Trisha, you're a true global citizen, always working to improve the world around us. Keep doing community service, writing the news, and being a leader wherever you go. Dr. Lankin. Ilan Joshua Bronze. More than your math ability and your mental notes, I'll miss your ability to keep things in perspective and always make me laugh. You're always welcome in room 408, Ms. Reeves. Miller Paul Burns. When he is not playing Wordle, Miller is quietly brilliant and the brilliant kid in class who always writes the paper that is better than yours, Mr. Hawk. Nathan Campbell. Nate, it was a joy to have you in Spanish class. I will never forget your realization and insights into your Hispanic heritage when working on a project for Hispanic Heritage Month. That moment was precious and I always remember it. I wish you the best of luck in your life's journey. We will miss your sincere smile, Dr. Pascal. Victoria Leona Carlson. Victoria, whether on the China immersion, the fencing strip, or in my office, I have admired your ability to meet challenges with courage and grace. I have no doubt that your courageous heart will guide you to future adventures that I look forward to hearing. Maestra McNeely-Anta. Matthew Catchambone. Matt, your steady leadership and overwhelming dedication to the causes you care about, as well as your peers, has helped to keep the service program grounded during your time at NA. You will do great things, and I cannot wait to hear all about them. Ms. Fisher. Siddharth Chalasani. One of the most earnest philosophers I have ever met, Sid is a delight to talk to, an iconoclast but a kind one. Sid is a courageous intellect set free upon the world. Mr. Hawk. Sophia Chen. Sophia, you are secretly the funniest person at Newark Academy, and just so good at everything. Mr. Sturton. Noah Benjamin Chernimus. Noah, of course you cut a hole in your KN95 to allow you to play your sax. Of course you came up with a clever solution to allow you to do what you love. Music, research, writing, nature, your family. You have so many passions, and you pursue them with rigor and a whole heart. Ms. Morgan. Adrian Shoraki. Did you know that Adrian is French? Often sassy, usually sarcastic, and always ready to laugh, he spiced up our advisor group like a chef spices up a brilliant cassoulet. A dash of dry wit makes any broth better. Can't wait to see the next dish he dreams up. Mr. Reed. Chase Nelson Clark. I can succinctly describe Chase in 3 words: big, fast, and smart. Dr. Ungaro. Bram Cohen. Bram, it's been a pleasure to see you mature from the 8th grader I came to know in the fall of 2017 to the confident young man graduating today. Congratulations, Mr. Vinacore. Ava Alzadon Cole. Depth, maturity, and kindness. Clearly there is an inner intensity that drives her success, but you'd never know it from the look you in the eye, unhurried conversations you have with Ava. Ms. Speck. Brandon Christian Cortez. Brandon, Your attention, engagement, and enjoyment of Spanish class are unrivaled. You are one of a kind. Enjoy your new endeavors and come to visit. You will be missed. Dr. Pascal. Molly Elizabeth Culligan. Molly, thank you for your contributions to the yearbook over the past 2 years and for being such a valuable member of our AB Calc class. You will be missed. Mrs. Taylor. Conrad Robert Chizevsky. Conrad, you are a compassionate young man who cares deeply about others. Believe in yourself and remember that you already know the answer. Un abbraccio, Maestra McNeilianta. Jackson Sawyer Derman. Jackson, your creativity, emotional intelligence, and drive have made an impact on the NA community, and you will be taken far. I can't wait to see what's next as you continue your journey. Mr. Vinacore. Nathan Drogan. Nate, thank you for the Friday evening emails, the impromptu visits to my other classes, and the promposal. Good luck for the future. It's been emotional. Mr. Stilliard. Selah Dungy. Selah, your fierce competitive spirit and your passion for track and field have made deep impressions on future generations of athletes. Thank you for your leadership and passion. Mr. McCall. Ali El Masri. Ali, you have grown so much academically and as a person over the past 2 years. It truly has been a blessing to have witnessed this and to have taught you. I wish you all the best at college, and I look forward to when you return to visit NA. Mr. Stilliard. Max Harrison Falcon. The distance runner's distance runner. Thank you for your passion, support, and enthusiasm, Max. Happy trails, Mr. McCall. Catherine Rachel Fishbone. Kate has steadily remained a passionate student athlete and committed player. Her attitude is characteristic of her style of play, and her work ethic is inspiring. 12 varsity letters later, she represents what everything a student athlete should be, a true class act. Coach Bona. Zoe Rose Fleischer. I think you know you will always have a special place in my heart. I'm sad you are going so far away because you won't be able to visit as much, but I expect to see you over breaks and to pick up your brother. I can't wait to hear about all the wonderful things you do and the hearts you warm. Ms. Rice. Drew Ann France. Drew, during our student parent advisor conferences, I asked your parents for any tips they had for raising such an incredible child. From honor council to mock trial to Model UN to your incredible academic performance, I remain in awe of your prowess. I cannot wait to see how you take over social media and the world. Mr. Coe. Lauren Amanda Freed. Lauren, while your passion for learning, curious mind, and intellectualism cannot be denied, what I will miss most is your lesser-known talents, like your obsession with trees and your beautiful singing voice. NA won't be the same next year without you. Miss Fisher. Bryn Brooks Garrett. Quiet and innocent? How about mischievous and fiercely competitive? Bryn, may your wily wit, intellectual curiosity, and adventuresome spirit continue to surprise others and lead you to unexpected places. Happy trails, Ms. Mahoney. Stella Ann Gilbert. There is no poem, no painting, no emoji, and no duck that could encapsulate your unbreakable spirit. You made elegant thinking look so easy while bearing such weight on your shoulders. I know you will surface the wave of time and rebuild your boat plank by plank, and you will always be tall to me. So it goes, Dr. La. Maximilian Gorbati. A scholar, athlete, and affable gentleman, thank you for your humor, your passion for historical inquiry, and your support of running at NA. Mr. McCall. Lauren Hardman. Intelligent, quick-witted, and full of energy, Lauren's positive approach to her work makes the educational journey more fun for us all. Mr. Roland Hagen. Joshua Horowitz. How far you have come since 8th grade. I hope you never lose your fun-loving nature and you continue to excel at the things you love. Ms. Rice. Seren Huang. Please keep plumbing the depths of thought and reality, Seren. You have a true gift for allowing others to see the beauty in the uncanny. With great respect, Dr. La. Charles Stark Hines. A reliable source of witty comebacks and mischievous smiles, you made English class a place to laugh. An equally dependable wellspring of capable scholarship and generous volunteerism, you made it a place where we could all learn from you. I'll miss you at my right hand next year, Mr. Reed. Meredith Faith Janae. Meredith, we have witnessed you evolve from a joyful but timid middle schooler to a strong, independent, passionate leader in high school. As an actress, you searched for the truth in every character, always wanting to show their essence. I can't wait to see what's next for you. Love, Ms. Shapiro Cooper. Penelope Gladys McLean Jennings. A curious intellect and empowering spirit, I'm sure Penelope will continue to debate, march, mentor, sing, crochet, and likely give a few really powerful stump speeches that will continue to enliven and educate those in her path. Ms. Speck. Amani Aneja Jetley. Remarkably self-aware, unabashedly open, committed to creativity, and intellectually hungry, Amani is always willing to take risks that further her growth. Ms. Speck. Dhruv Kapoor. Dhruv, both your passion and engagement are undeniable. As a student, you push your classmates to question their assumptions and wrestle with suppositions. As a friend and teammate, your ability to connect with your peers looked undeniable each time you held court in the activity center or at the natatorium. Be well, my friend, Mr. Coe. Meredith Kane. Your debating in Monal Congress and comportment on and off the soccer field have made it evident that you are an idealistic and principled young woman. Keep being a force for good in the world. Maestra McNeely-Anta. Christopher Robert Keating. Chris, you have shown such strong commitment, maturity, and grit as you've overcome the obstacles of this year while continuing to grow as a reader and thinker. It was great to have you back in my class for a second time and to see how your distinct voice as a writer had really emerged. Mr. Beckman. Therese Kessler. I am in awe at how quickly Tessa's mind works and what an exceptional problem solver she is. And that is something that easily translates from our class to the sports field because Tess solved Spanish with the same gusto with which she does everything. Profe. Ryan Jungwon Kim. Ryan, with wisdom beyond your years and the ability to keep everything in perspective, your balanced approach to life is just what we've needed these past few years. I will miss your sense of humor and kindness each and every day. Keep finding the joy in everything you do, Mrs. Salente. Sadie Charon Kim. Sadie, you are a true intellectual and creative soul, but most of all, I want to thank you for your work with the middle school this year. My son is a better human because he had you as a role model. Keep being your amazing self, Ms. Fisher. Maya Lily Nuller. Maya Lily, your hunger to live life genuinely is refreshing. Don't change and keep working on your Espanol so that in the near future you can share your wisdom and outlook on life with future NA students. Un abrazo, Maestra McNeely-Anta. Nicholas Ian Kotzen. Nick, your growth as a potter was outstanding this year. Your fearlessness inspired so many others in the studio to take artistic risks and to strive for new heights. You will be missed. Mrs. Brody. Melanie Vera Kramarchuk. You brought intellect, compassion, and strength to our class every day. Your perseverance is admirable. Continue to have confidence in yourself and share your voice with the world. Your spirit and grace brighten the future for all of us. Mrs. Salente. Nikhil Patel Kumra. Nikhil, hearing your choice and reasoning for your college made me so happy. You have always known what you wanted to do and what was best for you. You've been determined and hardworking since middle school, and I'm glad to see that hasn't changed. I wish you the best in Cali and hope you visit during break. Ms. Rice. Mason Ryan Kung. Someone once said to me, Mason cannot be contained. A truly independent spirit, Mason has been a delight to teach and to listen to. Mr. Hawk. Samuel Raphael Letterman. Sammy's linguistic control is extraordinary, both in written and oral forms. The same is applicable to his critical thinking, which finds a poetic tone in his exploration of what it means to belong to multiple cultures at once. Profe. Ethan Lee. Essentially Ellington? How about essentially Ethan? You are a master craftsman on the stage, in the classroom, and even out in the wild, designing clever lures for your fly fishing adventures. Essentially, you're a 21st century Renaissance man. Ms. Morgan. Amanda Lay. Amanda Lay, while you are very much a peaceful, gentle human being, I can't help but compare you to a stealth bomber. You observe, you collect intel, you listen critically, actively, thoughtfully, and then boom, you drop smart bombs all over the room. Ms. Morgan. Stephen Stanley Levitt. Your perseverance makes Sisyphus look like a sack of flour, and see how it has paid off. The strength of your kindness is matched only by the power of your determination. I'm sure this is true in all that you do, but it was special to see at work in the English classroom. Mr. Reed. Skywalker Lee. It was an absolute treat to observe your amazing impact as a peer leader. You are talented in so many ways, Skywalker, and for me, your greatest gift is your ability to truly listen to, work with, and lead others. Mrs. Winiarski. Tyler Lorenz. Who would have thought that 7 years ago you would be an awesome CIA math agent and assistant coach for the middle school swim team? I did. You are ready for takeoff. Let your dreams take flight. Mr. Rez. Emma Liu. Emma, the beauty and grace you display dancing in the studio and on stage are a window into the beauty and grace inside of you. Thank you for your leadership, focus, hard work, and perseverance in the dance program. Love, Miss Lux. Jesse Liu. Jesse, you consistently demonstrated poise, focus, and quiet determination in HL economics this year. Again and again, you reached great heights, combining an imaginative approach to problem solving with discipline and rigor. I know you will go on to achieve great things in the future. Mr. Stilliard. Leonardo Maseli. You arrived at NA as a junior during our strange COVID year, and you thrived. No small feat. Thanks for sharing your energy, brains, and sense of fun with our community. Mrs. Winiarski. Sophia Lily Miller. Sophia, it has been a pleasure to watch you grow both on and off the basketball court. Always wanting your team to succeed, your leadership has been unequivocal. Thank you for your passion and support of the NAGB program. Coach Bona. Aryan Kashuv Misra. Aryan, you are ambitious, extremely hardworking, and resilient. All qualities that will serve you well in your next chapter. Best of luck to you, Ms. Winiarski. Griffin Daniel Murphy. It's wonderful to see what a writer and thinker you've become. You had so many successes in IB English this year. Very best of luck in whatever comes next. Dr. Lankin. Andrew Nagpal. Andy, a scholar and true competitor. Thank you for showing us all how to be both a supportive leader while also pulling your peers to a higher level of competition. Mr. McCall. Spencer James Nowak. Spencer's characterful bassoon playing goes hand in hand with his excellent stage presence in the theater. With so many abilities to make a mark on the world, we hope you do so with your whole self. You contribute to the arts at Newark Academy, and they will bellow in the hallways for years to come. Dr. Hagan and Ms. Shapiro-Cooper. Catherine Elizabeth Orr. Catherine, I so admire your balance of self-sufficiency and collaborative leadership skills. You are such a valuable member of our AB Calc class. Wishing you the best in all that's to come. Mrs. Taylor. Logan Pack. Story time with Logan was something I always looked forward to. Now you're off on new adventures, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Keep your sense of humor, work hard, and you will get far. I can't wait to hear about it. Ms. Reeves. Avi Parameshwar. Congrats, Avi. You've accomplished so much and finally made it to the NA finish line. Keep that sense of humor of yours intact because it'll be your driving force. I enjoyed all our chats and will certainly miss seeing you at advisory. Wishing you success on your new adventure, Professora Serrano. Kaya Annika Patel. I've always admired Kaya's linguistic prowess as well as her maturity, her analytical skills, and the methodical way with which she solves problems. I am also in awe at the range and scope of her intellectual curiosity and her extracurricular commitments. Profe. Catherine Powers. Katie's generosity of spirit shone a bright light and enhanced the entire NA community while working the booth at Karachi, as a dedicated worker inside the classroom and in every club, service, project, and activity she has touched. Keep on reading and sewing. Wishing you success on your next chapter, Professora Serrano. Saif J. Prabhu. For 4 years, you have exhibited excellence in the classroom and on the tennis courts, as well as in the realm of character. You have become a leader in all 3 areas, and NA is all the better for it. Thank you, Captain. Dr. D. Michael Minsung Pyo. Michael combines an artist's eye with a philosopher's love of the ambiguous. He is intellectually playful and a delight to work with. Mr. Hawk. Kaya Vermani Rajparia. Kaya, you're an ethical thinker who asks how to improve the world we live in and takes action to make it better. Keep solving puzzles and sharing your discoveries. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. Dr. Lankin. Brandon Reche. You're a brilliant scientist and investigator. I've watched you learn to take risks and ask questions over the years, and it's been a delight to see you opening up and sharing your gifts with the world around you. Best of luck in whatever you explore in the coming years. Dr. Lankin. Milanis Ajani Rivas. Milanis, you were the first student I met at Newark Academy. Your kindness, never-ending joy, and sharp wit made me instantly feel welcomed. May you continue to shine your light on all the lives you touch. Love you, kiddo. Ms. Aponte. Andrew Michael Rovit. Andrew, your sense of humor and witticisms made teaching you a joy every day. Your enthusiasm and brilliance will serve you well as you move through life. Good luck, my friend, Mr. Ryan. Emily Rose Sabando. Emily, it has been such a joy to witness your growth as a poet and now novelist over the past 2 years. Thank you for sharing your powerful voice with our class. Keep writing. Flannery. Arwen Jade Schneiders-Smith. Arwen, I remain blown away by your talent and drive. Your artistry has left me with tears in my eyes on more than one occasion. Please keep creating. I cannot wait to see what incredible art you bring to our world. Mr. Coe. Megan Shah. Megan, it has been a pleasure to have the chance to have taught you twice. Please enjoy all the things yet to come. Dr. Thayer. Lex Regina Fanny Schiff. What did we talk about? Oh, Hufflepuff, League of Legends, the French horn, Comic-Con, fashion design, magic cards, Frog and Toad, and life in general, all part of a typical conversation. You were a shape in the doorway that always brightened my day. Keep being you. The world will definitely be better for it. Ms. Woketti. Emma Nicole Simon. Emma, your growth over your time at NA is inspiring, but what I will remember most is the way you connected with younger kids in Model UN and served as a mentor. This same quiet but steady leadership can be seen on the softball field. Keep moving forward, but remember to come back to visit. Ms. Fisher. Victoria Liv Sokolov. Victoria, you are a great example of how a girl can grow in confidence and self-love by challenging her comfort zone. Your semester abroad at High Mountain Institute in Colorado was all you needed to integrate your strong skills as an outdoors person, intellectual learner, writer, and emotional diver. I wish you more adventures in the solitude of the mountains to find balance and grace. Dr. Pascal. Yihun Stith. Yihun, though you slammed your hands on the desk in 8th grade to shock everyone into seeing poetry anew, it may only be now that you understand that the perfection of paper, the drive and the courage, are and always have been within you. I will be waiting for the next chapter. Turn the page. Love, Dr. La. Clifton Zachary Strain. Zach, be proud. Be oh so very proud of yourself for all the ways you have grown and for all the ways you will continue to grow. Mrs. Criddle. Emily Margaret Swope. Emily, every day when you left the dance studio, you thanked me, and I appreciated it every single time. Now let me express my gratitude for the amazing dancer and person you are, for your humble leadership, your grace, your perseverance, your patience, and your passion and commitment to dance. Love, Miss Lux. Dominic Daniel Tesse. Dom, you are a gentleman through and through. I am so grateful that you decided to sign up for acting freshman year because your friends did. You enriched our classes for 4 years and shined in our main stage productions. We will miss your thoughtfulness, generosity, and brave spirit. All my love, Ms. Shapiro Cooper. Fiona Elizabeth Tillier. Fiona, you always listen to your own heart and navigate the world with confidence. Move forward remembering to enjoy the beauty of the natural world and keep climbing for a better view. I cannot wait to see where your adventures take you. Mrs. Salente. Asha Tulsidas. Asha bravely took on zany middle school violinists in many a sectional, serving the greater purpose of peer mentorship and helping the younger students feel welcome. Dr. Hagan. Annika Verma. Annika, your perseverance, resilience, and all-around character are awesome. I can confidently predict that you will be tremendously successful whatever you set your heart on. Mr. Stilliard. Joshua Lawrence Verani. Joshua, I taught you for 2 years and I still miss your positive attitude and readiness to work. I appreciate you stopping by to say hello and ask how things are going. Your kindness and appreciation of what you have received may never be lost. That is what makes you a warm-hearted and invaluable member of the NA community. Enjoy the journey. Dr. Pascal. Clark Wagner. Clark, over the past 4 years, you have grown as a leader, a competitor, and a runner. Despite challenges, you have persevered. Wishing you luck in your future running and hockey endeavors. Mr. McCall. Cole Wagner. Cole is one of the most ethical students I know. He knows what he believes to be good and tried mightily to live up to that standard of goodness. Mr. Hawk. Luke Nils Wasco. When I think of Luke, I think of his success in cross country, his work ethic in basketball, and leading the student section in cheers at football games. However, I am upset I didn't learn about his debating skills until late into his senior year. Luke, I hope you always speak up for what you believe in. Coach Fisher. Patrick Flynn Weekle. Patrick, your shrewd sensitivity and keen eye as a movie appreciator speak to your curiosity and insight as a human. The fact that it took time to radiate externally what was always present internally makes your triumph today all the sweeter. Be bold as you inhibit your intellect, your confidence, and your formidable stature. Your longtime fan, Ms. Mahoney. Max Harry Whitehorn. Max, your fierce competitive nature and strong will made you a pleasure to coach this year. I can't wait to see what you do with these traits in the future. Also, thank you for reminding me that it's never too late to try something new. Coach Fisher. Jinja Whitehurst. JJ, it's time your family knows the truth. Your nickname is Danger. Build your own flamethrower, airplane drag races. I hope you continue to take somewhat safer risks as you pursue your fast, fiery dreams. Ms. Morgan. Samantha Nicole Witt. Samantha, it was a true pleasure to be your teacher this year. Your diligence with Spanish and generosity with your peers was always inspiring. You will fly high. All my best. Ms. Ortega. Cassidy Farron Wong. Some kids just hold a special place in our hearts, and you are one of those kids. I feel so honored to have had the pleasure to teach you and watch you grow and thrive as an upper schooler. You will continue to do great things and make us all proud. Ms. Rice. Andrew W. Zhang. Andrew, your brain and heart work together like none I've seen before. Somehow your philosophical ideas emerge with common sense and compassion already in place. This makes me believe that you'll be a highly effective leader one day. You wouldn't poke the fish too much. Dr. D. Albert Joe. Albert, I remember you in French A in your first year in middle school as if it was yesterday. Through your years at NA, you have demonstrated rigor, excellence, and generosity. You truly exemplify the NA generosity of spirit and standard of excellence. I am convinced that you will continue to do great things, and you will be missed. Dr. Fall.
How about a round of applause for the class of 2022? I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Ungaro, who will deliver the benediction.
Class of 2022, you have heard the expression, to whom much is given, much is expected. So it comes as no surprise that much will be expected from all of you. Teachers, parents, and family members have all worked hard to bring you to this moment. You will do many things, some great, some small, and everything else in between. I am reminded of the wonderful assemblies we had in the Karachi Auditorium not so long ago when we heard beautiful music and wonderful voices from the NA Orchestra and Choir. There were many voices in those assemblies, and while all of them cannot be in the spotlight, their participation is nonetheless needed and required to obtain the fullness of those performances. Your voices, in whatever endeavors you choose to pursue, need to be heard by all of us. Therefore, in whatever you do, do it with great love and compassion. You will learn much in the next 4 years, 10 years, and indeed for the rest of your lives. Some things will be more important than others. But in the words of singer-songwriter George Auberay, the greatest thing you will ever learn is just to love and be loved in return. Many blessings on you. Have a great life.
Thank you, Dr. Ungaro, for those insightful remarks and your dedication of over 47 years to NA. Now, as the only thing left standing between the class of 2022 and graduating, I would like to take a moment to thank all of our families and the faculty and staff who made these last 4 years possible. Finally, thank you to the class of 2022 for your undying spirit and the unwavering bond we all share. It is now my privilege to instruct you all to move your tassels from right to left and be the first to congratulate the now graduated class of 2022.
Thank you.